Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Soundbath Sundays. Let me fix this camera a little bit. I just finished my YouTube transmission, and today we're trying a new system, and I have to have my headphones on so I can actually hear what's going on and make sure that the sound quality is better than last time. Last time was a little iffy. So I'm still here experimenting. Today, we are going to talk about the yin and the yang. Now, I am so happy you are here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did. I am on a mission to get 1,000 followers so I can actually transmit from my mobile device. And that would mean the world to me. So if you want to help me out and become part of the first 1,000 subscribers, I'm just starting this channel recently. So I would love it if you just hit the button and subscribe. It would really help me out. Anyway, today is Father's Day here in the States and in a lot of parts of the world, like Mexico. I don't know if it's in America. I think Europe has already had their Father's Day. But anyway, because it is Father's Day here, I chose to talk about what seems to be consuming the media and seemingly society at this point. The pendulum appears to have swung completely the other way, and its reach, in my opinion, is far from over before it swings right back again. And the way I look at it, it's like that, that beautiful experiment that they did with the ball bearings. It's a little like a swing, right? It's a base where they have these ball bearings hanging from fishing line. And if you pull one ball bearing out and let it go, it will hit the others. And the one at the very end will get shot out into the air, equal in distance and strength as the impulse that actually hit it. So if I lift the ball bearing, like let's say the ball bearings are here. If I lift the ball bearing a little bit, tick, then the ball bearing on the other side would just go tick. But if I lift it really high up here, it'll go really high up there. And I think what happened was that the pendulum got swung really high up and it got released, and we're just like right here. And I think it still has a long way to go before everything settles down and calm is reached. I'm not sure how long this thing of the female speaking up is going to last without having a lot of casualties happen. However, I do know that when we reach the tipping point in awakened humans, this arrival to peace has the capacity to happen very, very, very quickly. Now, I don't know about you, but I was born in a very male-dominated society. In my heart, I could never understand why I wasn't allowed to go basically anywhere without a male escort, be it a party, the movies, dining, unless I was actually with a group of friends that would be acceptable. But going alone was just simply out of the question. One of my greatest adventures when I was 19 and lived in New York for the first time on my own was taking myself out to dinner and not feel awkward or self-conscious or have worse, all eyes on me, and be able to enjoy my meal without having to bury myself in a book, more used as an armor and protection than anything else. Let me lower this volume. Okay, maybe that'll be better because I'm getting a crackling. So, or to be able to go to the movies by myself without feeling like I was a loser because I didn't have a date. I don't know if you guys have experienced that at any point in your life. And did anyone care that when I was indeed out with a guy, whether they were truly nice or whether they were simply a wolf in disguise? No, or someone who was rude to the waiters or the people giving a service? No, as long as there was a body with a penis there, we were all good. Unfortunately for me and my parents, I have never been one to follow the rules, or as Vishen Lakhiani would call them, rules. And if you don't know what rules are, it's BS rules. And long gone are my days of feeling incomplete without a man. And two things. If you're a man and you're listening to this, please don't leave, because this is not a male bashing episode by any means. You will feel honored by the end of this, I promise. And if you are here right now, you probably have also felt out of place in society at large. I've always felt and have not had a problem expressing loudly that I was left in the wrong planet by accident, and sooner or later, somebody would figure it out and they would send a rescue mission to pick me up. But in the meantime, here I am, making the best of it. Now, after this long introduction, I am going to talk to you today about three things: the internal dance of the yin and the yang, the external dance of yin and yang, and honoring both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Then we're going to be following with a sound bath, and then I am going to talk to you about how to get a little gift if you like gifts. Anyway, let's get started without further ado. We're going to talk about the internal dance of yin and yang. So as humans, we have both energies within us. We have feminine and masculine. And depends on your personality, on when you were born, on your chromosomes, what part of it leads the most in you. Now, if you can just take a moment and notice what energy is more predominant in you, or what, not predominant, but what energy do you lean on most to get through your life? Do you use a lot of your feminine energy? Whether, and there's, excuse me, I've had a frog in my throat all morning that refuses to come out. So this is irrelevant whether you're a man or a woman. It's not gender-based. We're all containing both energies, right? So if you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. What energy do you lean on most? Is it that feminine, soft, nurturing energy? Or is it that powerful, driving through precision-based energy, like barreling through things or being just like using force? Is this a conscious choice, or is it something that just happens and you have no idea how you got there, which is probably a subconscious choice? And do you feel or have at one point thought, that maybe you need some balance in your life. Well, I'm here to present a different idea. I'm here to propose that we actually begin to have a conscious dance of the yin and the yang, so you can literally dance your way through life with a lot of ease, joy, and magic. Now, um, when yang leads at times, right? When you need strength and precision, and maybe yin will take over at some point. When you become a dancer, right? When this becomes a dance, you will need times when you need the strength, the power, the precision, the force to get you through certain steps. But sometimes you need the softer, flowing side of you that's nurturing, that's caring, and that also contains mystery, seduction, and exalted sensuality. So, just what I call the sensuality is the activating of the senses, and how we can be more aware of our sensorial experience in life, right? Now, when you look at and I had a drawing, I don't know where I left it. Oh, here it is. See, these are all my notes. But if you see the yin and the yang symbol, when I saw that recently and I was writing this, I realized that this yin and the yang are so much like our brain hemispheres. How is that? Some of us lean more on our logical brain. Some of us lean more on our artistic brain. And yet some of us, like me, have worked very diligently at creating an expansion and a connection of the neural networks so that we can use more of our brain simultaneously throughout our lives, thus creating a space for creativity and logic and rationality to work together, expanding your reality. And that is accomplished through different ways that I teach, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, when I was looking at this yin and yang pattern, I was like, wow, it's exactly the same thing. What if I could figure out a way of approaching this subject and the yin and the yang in our bodies by literally exploding the use of both sides simultaneously? Why does it have to be either or, right? Today I've been more of, I'll have everything, thank you. I was talking in the Facebook Soundbath Sundays earlier, saying I've never been an either or kind of person. Like if somebody offers me dessert, all I do is say yes. I don't say I'll have this or that. It's like, I'll have everything. I love dessert, right? Why should I be limited to just one? In my mind, in my life, I don't feel that limits are necessary, except in some areas. But anyway, I think that it's also a dance, right? There are times when limits are required, and there are times when you should be limitless and be experiencing all that limitlessness simultaneously. So how can we start expanding the use of our feminine side and our masculine side to create more of a dance, more of a harmonious existence between the two and with the two getting applied at the same time? Interesting. We're going to explore more of that too. Now, that is the internal, right? That is the processes that are inside of you, how you think, how you act, how you process information. the ways you behave with your loved ones and with yourself. How do you treat yourself? Are you more of a young person, like very disciplined, and you have to be, doing things in a certain way and having schedules? Or are you just more flowy, where you don't have a schedule and you cannot be contained, right? I don't know who that relates to that. But anyway, and then we have the external dance of the yin and the yang, which translates in the way we exteriorize these aspects of ourselves, where at the workplace, at home, socially with our friends. And it also depends how we show up as a man or a woman. For example, I find it very interesting that women in the workplace, if they want to advance and get ahead, in the past, they have had to act and lean very much on their yang aspect, very much on the male side of themselves, so that they can just barrel through things and not get exposed, not get their vulnerabilities, their nurturing, their sensitive side exposed, because it could be perceived as a weakness, right? For eons of time, women have been labeled as emotional. And one day I remember so clearly my doctor telling me I was going through a period of extreme sadness, and it was labeled depression. But my doctor said to me, Jana, we need to snap you out of this fast. Because if a woman is depressed, she's called hysterical. If a man is depressed, they say, oh, he has so much pressure, the poor guy, so much pressure at work. And there's always a justification for men having a lot of stress or being high strung or whatever. There's always some sort of free pass for a man. Whereas for a woman, you are immediately labeled as hysterical, as emotional, or whatever it is that is going to make you feel less that. When men are too sensitive or show their sensitive side, for example, shedding tears and crying, which is an absolute biological process that men for eons have suppressed in the most violent of ways, against, like, it's an affront to their own being, not being able to show feelings, emotions, and actually crying, right? Men don't cry. Brule. So stupid. And how many times, because of the societal programming, as women, we see a man cry and it shatters all of our idea of who this man was. If you see a man cry sometimes, I remember one time when I saw somebody that I was with break down for the first time ever, I was in shock. I could not believe, and I was very young, and I was completely indoctrinated in the programming, and I literally lost all respect for him. How sad is that, right? I literally lost respect because I saw him as weak. And so for women, sometimes it's okay to cry, but not for men. But women are hysterical and men are just stressed. And the amount of double standards going on, ping-ponging from one end to the other, is just mind-boggling to me. So how do you show up at home? Like for a woman who works in the workplace and then comes home, it is very difficult sometimes to go from this very heavily yang energy and come home and all of a sudden become feminine, sensual, sexy, and want to have sex every night with their husband, right? It becomes such a challenge to switch from one energy to the other, especially when we're not conscious about it and we don't understand that this could potentially be a choice, and that a lot of our the way we act is based more on the societal idea and concept of what male and female should be, ignoring completely that we have both energies in our being. And when we are at odds with that male aspect and that female aspect of ourselves, when they're going on parallel courses instead of integrated and having a coherent dance where, well, right now maybe yang energy is needed. Well, maybe now softness and nurturing is needed. Let's go a little bit yin and let's go yang. You can create a symphony for your life, right? So where can we as women show up in our power, being fully present in both our yin energy and our yang energy? Why? So that we can be understanding, we can create meaningful connections with people, but not become a doormat. And also to not be the bitch, right? The one that comes in and barks the orders and has to become this greater than herself persona so that she doesn't get taken advantage of and she actually gets some respect. It is incredibly challenging due to the societal expectations and labels that are placed on us, both as women and men. For example, women are very forgiving and very embracing of the female energy in gay men. Why is that? Right? So many women love gay men because we feel identified with that side of ourselves that brings us together. Now, what if we had a male partner that was equally comfortable embracing his masculine energy as his feminine energy in much the same way as this dance? There would be a time where you would need that yang energy to lead you as a woman, and there would be a time where you could really use a nurturing, more caring, listening, understanding partner that is not going to freak out that you're crying and immediately start to try to fix whatever situation it is that you don't need help with fixing, because you're going to fix it, but you just need to vent. Does that make any sense? And with your friends, right? Socially, how can you show up being more of both and using them as needed? When you start becoming conscious of this, then life starts to change. And whatever you start attracting into your life is more in tune with these changes and these conscious choices that you start to make every day. Now, when you understand that you are made of both these energies and that it is not only okay, it is a wonderful gift to have both these energies, and start experimenting as to consciously as to what energy is required in every different situation that shows up in your life, then you begin to start to see life in a different way. You are able, for example, as a woman, to be a leader without having to use force. You could be that nurturing self and still get respected. And that is something that it slowly, albeit sometimes painfully slowly, starting to change and to expand. But every day there's more of us being awakened and being at cause, understanding that we have the choice, and every choice we make will have consequences not only in our lives, but in the lives of others, in all of the lives that we touch, and how we can be an inspiration for others when we start being congruent with who we are as a whole. For me, and I'm not by any means a religious person, I deeply believe in God or the universe or that, or the ether, right? That force that keeps my heart pumping and my blood flowing, that power that is what brought me here and that I know has my back at every time. I believe in that. Okay? But this is not about religion. It's about honoring that part of you and making that choice to become congruent, that will create what I imagine to be the ascension process, which is going quantum leaping into another frequency, into another reality where there's going to be abundant prosperity and health and harmony and a lot of joy and a lot of ease. And I have had glimpses of it when I become congruent, when I become aligned with myself, when every part of me gets aligned and starts dancing this dance, be it my brain hemispheres, be it my female and male energy, or be it my body and my mind connection. How can I use both to create a more expansive life? And then how to have all of these pieces be aligned with each other so that you can be, embody the power that has been given to you, that you were born with, that we seem to have forgotten that we have. Basically, what I'm saying in a more practical way so that you can really understand this is, when you are, let's say you go into a networking session and you meet a group of people and you see this person that you don't like, and they come up to you to say hello, and you're like, hi, good to see you. And in your mind you're thinking, oh my God, I can't stand this person. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm running into them. Whatever that recording goes, that gets set off in your mind, right? That is a discordance. It is out of alignment. When it doesn't mean you have to like everybody, but it can mean just saying, hi, nice to meet you, and not have to go the other way to compensate for the fact that you actually don't like them. You can just be polite, but not necessarily have that totally different idea happening at the same time, because what it does, it fragments you. Whenever we become aligned, when our thoughts become aligned with our emotions, and they become aligned with our words and our actions, then the results are magic. It is all one unit working together. So we're going to have left brain, right, logical, creative brain working together to a more expansive life. Yin and yang, feminine, masculine, working together for a more expansive life, working with the brain, working with the body, the mind-body monitoring system, with everything you're feeling, right? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I don't know where that came into my head. But if you're somewhere and everything is aligned with what you're saying, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, it creates the magic, and it opens the space for coming up with magical solutions for challenges. Believe me. When I have taught my Warrior in You program, that was part of the mission. And now I'm going to talk to you about this new program that I'm coming up with that has to do all with this alignment. And it's very, very clear. The Warrior in You had aspects of it, but now I've just made it so that it's literally very focused, so that you can, in 6 weeks or 5 weeks, literally, you become another person. You become so focused, you become so productive, and you are able to use every side of yourself. And it's a very stimulating program where you are able to very clearly see the parts of you and what you have to offer, and start using them. It's as if you're composing a new symphony with your life. So without further ado, we're going to have Harry come in. Let me back up a little. And we're going to do our sound bath. Let me pull my dress down because Harry is cold. And I am praying that the sound is better and then you can hear Harry and me well today. Let me see. Actually, I'm going to do this today. Guide it. Yeah. All right. Interesting. All right. So I'm going to invite you, if you're going to take this sound bath sitting down, to put your feet flat on the floor and then go ahead and wiggle your toes. Then I'm going to ask you to make sure that your spine is straight. If you're leaning back, lean comfortably back against the chair, wherever you're sitting, the sofa. If you're on your bed, go ahead and put a pillow to make sure that you're propped up and you're not like way back, but then really having a straight spine. And then go ahead and place your hands, palms facing up, on your thighs in a receiving position. Now you can also take this sound bath lying down. If you choose to do that, go ahead. You can all straighten out. You make sure that your spine is also aligned straight, and you can place your hands, palms facing up, on the sides of your body, and once again wiggle your toes. Then I'm going to ask you to close your eyes if you haven't done so already, and take 6 breaths on your own time. And they're going to be inhaling through your nose, holding for a count of 1 or 2, then exhaling with a big old sigh, making the sound of as you exhale, consciously choose to release everything that has brought you to this moment right now, good, bad, or regular. Just let it all go so that you are able to be present in this moment. Remember your 6 breaths. You can do more if you feel like it, but 6 is a very, very wonderful number. Everything that I ask you to do has a purpose. It's not just a random occurrence of mine. I just sometimes don't explain it all because it would take us forever and it would be boring. Like, you don't need to know how electricity works in order to have lights in your house, right? So you just go and flip the switch. that is exactly what we're doing here. Just flipping the switch. Now start honoring both the divine feminine and the divine masculine within you. And make a conscious decision right now to allow them to flourish and engage in a beautiful dance and bring you lots of opportunities, magic, and prosperity. When you are ready, in your own time, take a deep breath if you haven't taken one already. Let it go. Start wiggling your toes, shaking your hands out. Open your eyes when you're ready. And we are back. Wow, that was intense. A lot of you, I felt, had a lot of resistance going into it. And then all of a sudden something clicked and it was, started to just simply allow the energies within you to just play with each other. I really hope that you have been able to experience that and know that you can consciously choose to be, to show up as more of yourself and to be able to access more of you, those bits and pieces that can literally create a whole new reality for yourself, for your life, for everyone you come in contact with. And how mission is to help you activate it so that you can create wonderful things, wonderful businesses, wonderful relationships, become a wonderful leader, and simply vibrate at a higher frequency so that we can uplift ourselves and the whole planet along with us. I am grateful that you're here today. I am working on, like I said, on this new program all about aligning yourself, and it is going to be epic. I'll tell you more about it in the coming weeks. If you like gifts and if you like what I do, it would be wonderful to have you as part of our tribe, like I said, by subscribing to this channel. Or if you'd like, or actually, and no ors here, and you can also become part of our tribe through our mailing list. I don't email a lot. I'm getting better at it, at keeping more constant and continuous communication. But I don't usually send more than one email, maybe a week. And when we have programs, we do send emails just to remind you to get on them, so you can just be aware of it, because life gets in the way. And I'd like to just remind people we're on tomorrow, and then the day of, and whatever. But it's not something that is irritating and annoying, because I don't like getting irritated and annoyed by other people. So anyway, if you'd like to be part of the tribe and get a free 3-part video series on about the basics of what I do, and so you can understand your mind, your reticular activating system, how we have what I call the factory settings, right? It'll talk about that. It'll talk about frequency, vibration, water, how you're made of all these ingredients, and how through sound and through practical, simple tools, you can create a whole new reality. And you will, and then at the end, you get another sound bath if you enjoyed this one. So you can sign up at janahealing.com. That's JANA healing.com. And we would love to welcome you as part of our tribe. Thank you very much. I honor you, all of you, your rational, creative, female, male energy. I honor you, and I am grateful for you. Thank you very much. And for those of you who are celebrating, happy Father's Day. And for the women that have had to be their own dad as well, happy Father's Day to you too. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I love you. Well, let me see if I can do it. Okay, there we go.